One night, I was completely alone on that old bridge in Chicago. The streets were empty, the air was freezing, and a strange rotten smell was rising from the river below. That's when I felt it, like someone was walking right behind me. But when I turned around, there was nobody there. And then, my phone buzzed with a notification. Don't look behind you again. I froze, because the message didn't come from an unknown number. It came from my own phone. This happened in 2023. At the time, I was working night shifts in Chicago. That night, I got out of the office really late. I couldn't get an Uber, so I decided to walk across the bridge and grab a taxi on the other side. People used to say weird things about that bridge. They claimed that after midnight, something walked there. But I never believed in paranormal stories. At first, everything felt normal, just the sound of my footsteps and the cold wind cutting through the silence. Then suddenly, my shoulders started feeling heavy, like someone had placed their hands on me from behind. I stopped, turned around. Nothing. But then I noticed an old yellow cab parked on the other side of the road. The driver was staring directly at me. Slowly, he rolled down his window and shouted, "Hey, don't stop walking." I looked at him confused. Then he yelled again, "Just keep moving, and don't look behind you." That's when fear finally hit me. I started walking faster, but then I heard footsteps behind me. Slow, wet, dragging footsteps. Tap, 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 like someone walking in soaked shoes. I almost turned around again, but the cab driver screamed, "No matter what you hear, don't turn around." Now I was nearly running. My breathing got heavier, and then, right next to my ear, I heard a woman whisper, "Why did you leave me alone?" I stopped cold, because that voice belonged to my ex-girlfriend Emma. Emma had died in a car crash 6 months earlier. My hands started shaking. Slowly, I began turning my head, when suddenly the taxi driver pulled up beside me and shouted, "If you want to stay alive, get in." I jumped into the cab without thinking. The second the door slammed shut, something hit the back of the taxi. Bang! I looked through the rear window, and what I saw kept me awake for weeks. Standing in the middle of the bridge was a cloud of black mist, but it wasn't just smoke. Inside it, a woman's face was forming. Her eyes were completely black, her mouth stretched unnaturally wide, and she was smiling. The cab driver slammed the gas pedal and sped away. I looked at him and whispered, "What the hell was that?" For a few seconds, he stayed silent. Then he said, "Every few months, it follows someone who's alone, and if that person turns around, it follows them home." A chill ran through my entire body. I asked him, "How do you know that?" The driver looked at me through the rearview mirror. His eyes looked strangely sad. Then he rolled up his sleeve. Deep scratches covered his arm, like claw marks. Quietly, he said, "Because 12 years ago, I looked back." The rest of the ride was silent. A few minutes later, he dropped me off outside my apartment. I reached for my wallet to pay him, but he stopped my hand. Then he quietly said, "Don't open your window tonight," and he drove away. I stayed awake the entire night. Around 4 a.m., I heard soft tapping on my bedroom window. Tap it, tap, tap. I was too terrified to move. Then from outside, I heard the same woman's voice whisper, "I'm still here." Slowly, I looked toward the curtains, and there it was, the same black mist, but this time, it wasn't alone. Standing beside it was the taxi driver, completely motionless. Slowly, he lifted his head and smiled. At that exact moment, my phone lit up with a new message. Now he walks with us. And suddenly, every light in my apartment went out. So if you were in my place that night, would you have looked back? And remember, if a stranger on an empty bridge ever tells you not to turn around, you should probably listen.